Today on the Cardinal Sports Network, we bring you cross-country action from Mercer Meadows as Lawrence takes on Notre Dame. I'm joined by Coach Krajunas for the start of the boys portion of this event. Welcome, Coach.
Hello, thank you.
And I see an official getting into position there. And we look like we're ready for the start. There's the start. Who do we see coming toward us, Coach?
So first we have Jerry and Cullen right in the front. Right behind them is Dylan, followed by Justin, Matt Stern, Liam, and Kevin at the end there. Obviously a little bit of a smaller race than usual because of the coronavirus precautions that the teams have all been taking. So there they go.
Okay, and we're going to jump now to the start of the girls portion of this event. They're going to be running the same course a short distance behind the boys, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they do a little bit of a staggered start, so just a few minutes before the boy, or right after the boys left.
And there they go.
So here we have, just coming across us right now, we have Molly, we have Coco, Liz, Anna, Melinda, Kiki, Sarah, and Kaya are in the back there. And there they go.
Okay. As they fade off onto the distance there, we're going to jump ahead and go to the finish line to see how they're making out.
This course is just one big 3-mile loop. Let's go, boys. Here comes Jerry in the front.
And he's the first finisher. Actually, we see two of the Lawrence runners coming in.
Yeah, here we have Jerry and Cullen, who's a little bit behind. Cullen actually has the course record for the school on this course.
I was going to ask, how often do you actually get to this course?
Now, this is our first year actually running it, and this is now, I think, their 5th or 6th time being there, so they've had some experience with it. I think this was Notre Dame's first time there. It was our opponents. That definitely helped us out a little bit.
Yes, we see the first Notre Dame runner coming into view.
Yeah, so he was a little bit behind the first-year runners who just came across, and then we should have a nice pack of Lawrence runners right behind him, which will be good for us as far as scoring is concerned. We have Dylan coming up right now, and he's followed by Justin and Matt. Looks like Matt's trying to outkick those runners behind him. Let's see if they do it.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought there.
Got it there.
How much do you save for a final kick, or do you use everything you got the whole way?
So that's one of the benefits to, I guess, having raced the course before, is they can kind of see and they kind of know, okay, this is a good opportunity for me to start. We've had some races where they start a little bit too soon and then they're a little bit fading out by now. We've had the opposite. We've had races where they didn't maybe use up enough energy and they felt too fresh by the end. So.
Yes, I've seen that where some runners come across the line, they appear to be completely spent, and others look like they could go another 2 miles.
Yeah, we've definitely been on both of those ends of races before.
This looks like a bit of a race between two of the Notre Dame people.
So once we have those 5 runners coming across, it was Jerry, Cullen, Dylan, Justin, and Matt. Those are the 5 that really score, and then everybody else is kind of competing against one another, trying to set a personal record or improve on their own times.
So at this point, Lawrence has already won the boys portion of this meet.
That is true, yeah.
Well, that's a wonderful feeling.
Yeah, having those runners kind of run together in packs is very, very nice for us. It helps you as you're running when you can run with somebody else, and it also helps us out points-wise when it comes to scoring the actual race. Here we have Liam finishing up.
He's looking very relaxed.
Nice and strong, yeah. Definitely, so a lot of the other courses that the runners will run, the course generally kind of snakes and you can kind of see the runners every once in a while. Here it's just one big loop, so we see them at the start, we see them at the finish, but there's really no opportunities for spectators to see the runners at any other point, so it's kind of tough to spectate, and it's tough for the runners because they don't have people cheering them on.
Well, now this looks like the first girl coming in.
Yeah. So even though they staggered the starts, this Notre Dame runner is finishing before the last Lawrence boy, so she's a very, very strong runner.
I see a lot of the parents very bundled up here. It's a very windy day, very chilly, a little unseasonably cold.
Yeah, we're filming this recording this on Thursday. Weather is beautiful. It's not the case just 3 or 4 days ago.
Yes.
So here we have Molly, our first girl, coming up. Molly's been having an incredible season. The girls and the boys actually are both 4-1.
So one apiece across the line for the girls now.
Yep.
And as you said, some of the girls had overtaken some of the boys. I think we got one of the boys coming in now for Notre Dame. The wind's so strong it's actually moving the camera around.
You can also see the Lawrence boy back there, and that is also Coco, who is Molly's sister, the number 1 girl. That is the number 2 girl, both sisters.
Both members of the family very strong runners.
Absolutely. And there's Kevin bringing up the boys team. Kind of running together, actually.
Yes, well, they're helping to pace each other.
I hope so. Oftentimes for these races, especially for Notre Dame, has a very, very big team. Sometimes you might see, 30 runners on the line just for one team. Here we are keeping it small for precautions, keeping everybody kind of as spaced out as we can. Here we have Liz, who's also been having an incredible season, finishing up really strong.
Now, speaking about the runners running together, do you ever have some of your runners hold back a little to pace some of the other runners on the team?
Sometimes that's a little bit helpful. If I could have a stronger runner, maybe have a little bit of a slower first mile, then when that stronger runner really starts to move, he can generally take somebody else with him. So if a student is having a hard time pacing themselves, sometimes we might have that happen. Here we have Anna finishing up nice and strong in front of these 3 Notre Dame runners.
So she would be the 4th of the Lawrence girls to cross the line, I believe.
That's correct. And then right behind her is Melinda. And I believe this is Melinda's freshman year. So Melinda and Coco having a very, very strong first season.
So does Melinda coming in that position give the girls the win as well?
It does, it does. So both the boys and the girls won this race.
Good outing for Lawrence.
Yep. And right behind Melinda, we have Sarah, who's a senior finishing up her 4 seasons with the cross-country team.
Now, in addition to cross-country, I'm sure some of these athletes participate in other sports throughout the year as well.
Yeah, a lot of them are, to what's very big, is the kind of sticking with the running theme and staying with track, whether winter or outdoor in the spring. We also have a good amount of swimmers and some mix of spring athletes. We have some baseball players, we have some softball players, we have some lacrosse players.
A lot of variety.
Yeah.
Who have we got here?
Here we have Kiki, who is finishing her race, also nice and strong. And sorry, I thought that someone else was a little bit behind her.
Yeah, that's all the parents standing on the side there. It's kind of hard to tell what's coming from sometimes. She seems to be finishing strong.
Yep, she's doing excellent. Maybe looks a little too fresh, I don't know.
And there's one that I know, that's Sarah Simius.
Yep, Sarah's finishing real strong here, working hard.
Well, in addition to her sporting duties, sometimes she stands behind the camera, runs camera for LTPS TV as well.
Oh wow, never did that.
Looks like she's giving it her all.
That's a very hard worker. And here we have Kavya. Kavya's one of our actually stronger runners, but Kavya had been injured for some time, so she's been taking it a little bit easier as she's easing back in. So definitely want her to be doing that so she can remain healthy for the rest of the season. But nice strong effort from her too.
Yes, I'd say it looks like she's not giving her all, but pacing herself there so she doesn't injure herself.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right.
And now we see another one of the Notre Dame girls coming into view.
Just finishing up. It's one of our tougher courses. Usually races traditionally 3.1 miles. This course is a little bit longer, and as I said, it's just kind of one giant loop. There's no fans cheering you on. There's not as many spectators throughout the course. So mentally it can be pretty daunting for some of the athletes.
Now, do you take the team over there to practice on this course as well?
We do. So we try to head over there on Saturday mornings as best we can to get the students in time, opportunity to see the course, to know kind of what is around every turn, which is always helpful. Fortunately, this is right over in Lawrence, and so that makes it a little bit easier for us to make sure we have time to get there.
Yes, I believe some of the runners actually walked home from the event afterwards.
They definitely could, yeah. This is our first season at the Reed Bryan Farm. Usually all of these races in Lawrence are held at Rosedale Park. Due to construction, we have not been able to race there this year. So this is new for all the runners, and so it's definitely been a challenge getting used to the course. But I think they've responded well to that.
I would think the practices would help avoid runners getting lost. I've seen that happen at some of the previous events.
It has happened. Never like to see it when you're waiting at the finish line and you've got 6 people coming across and you're waiting for the very last one.
Well, that always seems to be the case, that there's some people aren't as fast as others. Here's a girl saved a little bit for the end.
Why not? Why not?
And that will do it here from Mercer Meadows. Coach Krazunas, I want to thank you for sharing your insights and helping to identify the runners. And to our viewers, remember to tune in next time for more exciting Cardinal sports action on LTPS TV.